my young maiden, my young, fair, voluptuous, sensuous maiden path girl.
Yes, Boogie.
My Valkyrie maiden.
Are you here to rescue me?
Well, no, the Valkyrie maiden, you're the one that's supposed to, like, come down and pick me up off the battlefield in Valhalla. Yeah, so you do the work. You're the heavy lifter here.
Great.
I've been out fighting ghost Vikings all day.
Oh, my Lord, I'm here to save you. Oh, I will tend to your wounds and your every need.
Oh, tend my wounds. Valhalla definitely seems like a cooler place. Did I ever tell you what I want to be in Valhalla?
No.
In Valhalla, I don't want to be one of the warriors because I suck at fighting, and just going out and getting butchered every day doesn't sound good. I want to be like table scrap boy in Valhalla.
What?
The Vikings fight all day. That's what Valhalla is. So all day the Vikings go out and they battle and they do war, and then the Valkyrie maidens come and pick them up at night and take them and heal their wounds, and then they drink and fuck and do that, and then the next day they do it all again. So that's what heaven is for the Vikings in Valhalla.
Okay. So
I want to be table scrap boy or the table bus boy. I want to be Viking bus boy.
Okay.
So I don't go to battle, right? I just set up the tables, and then at night they like make fun of me and, hey, table boy, bring me some. Oh, you're the king, man. You guys are great. But you got to think logically. All day long, those Vikings are out at war, and it's me in Valhalla with like 10,000 maidens.
Right.
10,000.
So
me and 10,000 maidens. So you by myself.
Okay.
So during the day, some of them are going to be bored, and they're going to be all, hey, table boy, come over here. So all day I'm going to be.
You're kind of cute.
Yeah, do something. And I can talk to chicks. I can talk to chicks real well. Mm-hmm. And then I know tricks, and I know things that the Vikings, they're like, fuck. That's all they're going to do. But I have skills. Mm-hmm. Table boy, Viking table boy, Viking bus boy. I think Viking bus boy is better.
Yes.
And then that way. And then when they make fun of me at night, I'm like, oh, yeah, you guys are great. Yeah, but I'm fucking all these chicks, these hot Valkyrie maidens all day.
And hear me out also, with all the table scraps, you make like these little cute little charcuterie boards to like, hey, you guys hungry? Come on. Oh my God, that's so thankful. That's awesome. Thank you. And then especially like the ones you actually do get to play with and fucking to be like, hey, you want some cookies and stuff? I have some of these little leftover cookies. I made a little cookie charcuterie board. And the girls are like, oh, that's so thoughtful. Thank you. And just like, yeah, it might actually work.
See? Look at that. We're working together. That's the heaven that I want. Think with your brain, people. Think with your brain.
Make the best out of every situation.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Do you feel your sex life is quite lame?
Perverted Podcast.
Scared that your desires might be strange?
Perverted Podcast.
Come and join the kinky world of play.
Perverted Podcast.
Viking bus boy. Hello and welcome to Perverted Podcast, the show where we explore the adventures of the kinky lifestyle, sex, and the human mind.
We're recording on Zencaster, where sex in the first date doesn't mean you're easy, just user-friendly. I'm Path Girl.
I'm Count Boogie, and god damn it, being user-friendly is a gift to everybody.
Yes.
Did you have any adult sexy things this week?
Yes. Oh, yes, I definitely had some adult sexy time, although I have definitely been craving a scene. I think I need to. Donis is in the next room with his son. I think I have to do the shave and a haircut, like, hey, we need to plan a scene soon. But no, we had some adult sexy time earlier in the week, more of the scheduled kind of like, hey, we haven't done some fun stuff in the bedroom lately. So I actually tried to pounce on him one day when I came home from work. He was off from work and he's like, I need to go shower. I'm like, okay, cool. So I've just followed him into the shower and proceeded to Yes, I followed him into the shower and proceeded to take care of his back with his loofah and make sure that all of his man parts were thoroughly cleaned by both the shower and my mouth. So there you go.
Oh, do you have knee?
Yes.
Okay, this must be from someone in pain, because immediately when you're like, oh, I went down on him in the shower, I'm like, do you have some sort of like little foam thing to kneel on in the shower to not hurt your knees?
No, I have to, same thing, old lady with bad knees. I have to be careful with when I do kneeling stuff, where it's just, I have to kind of lean on one knee because I have one knee that's better than the other. But no, we
Right.
actually started off in the shower and then toweled off and finished off in the bedroom. So,
Oh, okay.
but I mean, it's also like, it kind of goes to our topic we're going to be talking about, where it's just kind of like the little bit of pain that I get from my knee is kind of like, okay, how much can I endure for him? Kind of like, it's just like, yeah, I know he's really getting into it and I don't want to stop. So then it's kind of like, okay, I could go a little bit longer. Yes, it hurts. And yes, I'm going to pay for it later and I'll have to take something. But at the same time, it's kind of like, he's really into it. So I'm getting into it. So you can kind of ignore that pain for a little while. So
This is definitely foreshadowing for the topic
Yes.
we're going to talk
Yes.
about. So that's very, very, very cool. But that being said, before we get into the topic that we're now semi kind of already into right now, which is okay because you know
Yes.
we started the show, but it is important to realize that there's pain and injury type pain. So if you're going to
Yes.
push yourself in pain, you shouldn't be pushing yourself into injury type pain, because that's
Exactly.
obviously longer lasting consequences. A little soreness and whatever is fine. But that's why if you're going to blow someone in the shower, you know, throw a towel that is dirty towel and you know,
Mhm.
it'll get wet, but who gives a shit? You know, put something on your
Mhm.
knees. I'm always protective of knees. Just be good about knees,
Yes.
because then you can focus more on the activity and less about the fact that you now have ruined your knees. Don't ruin your knees, kids. Don't. This is my commercial for knee protection.
They'll thank you later.
Is it bad to get cum in your eye? Is it safe to set balls on fire? Avoid the things you regret. Get advice, better yet. Let our failures be your wins as we discuss kinky topics off Reddit.
And seeing as we already started kind of into the topic, the foreshadowing of the topic of pain, let's just go ahead and rock and roll. We're going to rock and roll, and this is amazing. And if you're a newer listener on Perverted Podcast, first of all, welcome. I hope you stay with us and enjoy these things. You can always reach out with your questions and comments at pervertedpodcast@gmail.com. We want to hear from you. We're glad that you're here with us. To our veteran PP zombies, Zams, and Zits, we love you too. And let's
Welcome
get
back.
into this. But this is we haven't gotten into pain in a while, but this is such this guy's realization was so good about it that we couldn't pass on it.
Mhm.
So does getting hurt really turn people on? Which already I'm just like, I already know what happened. I know what happened before I even read this post. So let's get into it. So a week ago, I had my first real impact play with my dom. And now that I've got a chance to gather my thoughts, I'm getting conflicted feelings. Wait a
you
minute.
think?
I thought this was all hot. The fantasy. The fantasy meets the reality. But no, it gets really good. I feel like the physical aspect of it doesn't really arouse me. Getting flogged in cane genuinely hurt. I've had some experience, but it was limited to a pleasurable kind of pain. This time, I was actually screaming and shaking, even thrashing sometimes, tears running down my cheeks. My dick literally shriveled the whole time. The aftermath sucks too. I was exhausted after the fatigue, and the fatigue lasted throughout the entire next day, not to mention the bruises. So this guy got his ass kicked. But mentally, now the change. By God, that was the highest I've ever been in my life. I was in heaven. The idea that I was tied there, couldn't do anything but receive the flogging was incredibly hot to me. The helplessness, the surrender, the hunger to please your dom by letting him push you to the point that your body is having physical reactions to it. I never wanted to be anywhere else. Not that it reflected on my face, because my dom asked me 2 to 3 times throughout the session if it was too much. Couldn't blame him either, because after watching the videos, there was nothing that would remotely suggest I was having a good time. It wasn't sexy at all. I looked distressed and scared shitless. I don't know how he kept at it. I might be reaching my limit here, but the experience was mythical to me, and I'm afraid I'd need that kind of pain to reach the same state again. I guess I just want to understand what part of that experience I'm actually craving. Does any of you feel that way too? Or do some people get off on getting hurt? I'd love to read your inputs.
Long story short, TLDR, yes and yes.
Yeah, yes and yes. Yes. Yeah, short version. If you are looking for a pill version of this mythical experience, legally it doesn't exist, and financially and physically, heroin and crack will not be good for very long. I'm going to let Path Girl start with this, and because this is something that happens when you go from your fantasies into reality, and this is what happens when you escalate into heavier play scenes that are maybe outside of your scope or fantasy. So, but it is a real thing. This conflict is a very, very real thing. It is not uncommon. You are not alone in this. So, Path Girl, why don't you talk about what pain means to you?
So, in a long time ago in a galaxy far away, when Path Girl first was a young girl and started seeing images of BDSM in movies and in TV, all I saw was somebody beating somebody as a top, beating another person, a top and a bottom, going at it. I would usually see like some hot chick in some really hot lingerie beating some guy with a whip or a chain or something, or vice versa, where it'd be some really buffed out guy and some woman, and she's moaning and writhing in ecstasy. And I'm like, oh my God, they're beating each other up. What the hell is going on? And I couldn't wrap my brain around the fact, past the why are they beating each other, the physical aspect of it. Fast forward to, I start reading a little bit more about BDSM, and I start learning about it. And then I start realizing there's that wonderful biochemical reaction that people have when those endorphins start pumping, and then adrenaline starts pumping, and the physical effect that pain puts on the submissive's body or the bottom's body. And it's all those yummy chemicals that come out, and then they're like, oh my God, this is amazing. Because I have to endure just a little bit of pain, but then you get these yummy chemicals. But then you also have the flip side of it, that there truly are some people who just love the pain. I mean, obviously there's that quick first sense of like, oh my God, they hit me. But then it's like, oh my God, they hit me. I mean, I have a friend of mine who loves to have her feet caned, bastionado, and she absolutely squirt orgasms all over the place from it. So for me, I had to understand that for me, the pain, I don't like pain. I believe it or not, even though I consider myself a masochist, I stub my toe, I cry like a baby. I was moving a box in the shed a couple of weeks ago, and my finger got trapped in like between two heavy boxes, and I was screaming in pain for Donis, and thankfully he came and rescued me. And the rest of the day, my finger was killing me. I'm like, oh my God, this sucks. I hate it. It's that real like catch-22 of like, I like pain, but I don't like what I have to do to get there. For me, the pain is a means to get two things. Number one, those yummy chemicals to come out. And number two, I love the badges of honor. I love the bruises. So like for me, living with a chronic illness, and like I'm in pain all the time anyway, or my body's like constantly like, you can't do this. Enduring through that pain and then getting those bruises afterwards or getting those yummy chemicals afterwards is kind of like the, oh, cool, my body can endure this so I can get to the good part. Or even like when I was talking about previously about like going down on Donis in a shower. Yeah, my knees are hurting me because I've been down here a few minutes taking care of him. But at the same time, like, I know he's into it. So it's like I can endure that pain because I know it's making him feel good and that's making me feel good. And then afterwards, I get all the yummy chemicals from the sex or from the scene that we're doing.
There are so many aspects about pain, and you touched on so many. I love your experiences. I've been listening to them for years, and you're like a general. You have a wide spectrum. It doesn't go to the extreme on both ends, but you have all of the things that this guy is talking about, to where you like the challenge. It gives you a sense of confidence in that challenge. You get your endorphins and your dopamine from the pain, and you also understand the service aspect of that,
Yes.
to where that motivates you. And so there's so many different angles of why humans endure pain, even outside of the bedroom sexually. Like, why do we hike big mountains and get, bit by snakes and thorns and whatever, and everything muscle hurts and cramps, and we get to the top, and you get to the top of the mountain after you just been beat up, and then you get the view. That's where the payoff is, and it's the same when you train hard for sports, and then you excel in that sport, so there's those personal goals, those personal achievements. A lot of people that are masochists are really about proving to themselves, not just all the things you talked about, like to the dominant or whatever, but, and I think you did actually touch on it a little bit, that you kind of showed that you're not as weak as you feel sometimes, because we're in pain and we have injuries and stuff. And so sometimes enduring that pain does kind of give you some confidence that I'm a little tougher than I maybe thought I was. And so that's kind of important too. So there's so many different aspects. Ultimately, I'd say, I don't know, in all the people that I've played with, so obviously we're talking about hundreds of scenes over the years. I'm going to say it's probably about 50-50 that, half of them, not masochists, but they will, like you said, they will go through that pain to get to the after effects, and then it becomes arousing. Once those chemicals kick in and you get into that, and we'll talk about that, the difference between stubbing your toe and doing it in a play scene. Once they get to that place, then they can take everything. They don't even register the pain as pain anymore. It just becomes another push into that kind of headspace. Does that make sense?
No, definitely. And it's just watching other scenes over the years. There are times that, like, I see people taking like scenes that are completely beyond my comprehension, where they're like getting beaten black and blue, and they're smiling and they're giggling and they're laughing, or they may even be like crying and screaming and oh my God. And it's just like, there's so many different spectrums to pain, where it's just like, it's very interesting to watch on the scientific aspect of it, where it's just like, there are times I watch people getting scenes and I'm like, oh my God, I can't do that. No, that's not my kink. And there's other times that I have to sit there and appreciate, like, oh my God, they're going through all that. And it's like the look on their face of absolute bliss, or just that, they may even go to subspace and nonverbal, or just kind of go on, unconscious for a little bit. And it's just kind of like the bliss that endures, or even the aftercare, just kind of like, especially if you watch like a master slave scene, where it's just like the care that comes in afterwards, where it's like, oh my God, you endured this for me. You must love me so much. Or you must care for me so much in that scene. It's really, really interesting to see all of that. But it's just, I can understand the poster's dichotomy of like, I really don't like the physical aspect, but oh my God, afterwards, it's amazing. So and just trying to wrap your brain around, like, we're not supposed to hurt other people. Our parents told us when we were kids, used to hit somebody at the daycare, and it's like, no, we don't do that, Johnny, because that's bad. We don't pull little girls' hairs, Johnny, because that's bad. And then like later on, it's like, please pull my hair. Oh, please, please, please.
Well, once again, one is adult and consensual, and the other is not.
Yeah, fuck stubbing toes.
I want to get back. I want to circle back to the stub toe versus play scene.
Yeah,
and why for so many people that's confusing to them. Like, how do I get off on it here? Well, there's some things to think about. When you're dealing with the toe, there's no buildup and there's no payoff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When you stub your toe, it just hurts. It sucks. It is now an inconvenience. You dance around. You cannot do what you were currently doing because you now have to focus on this injury.
Mm-hmm.
When you're in a scene, there is a buildup. Usually there's a warm-up that leads into that pain.
Mm-hmm.
There is an understanding. There is a connection that is happening between you and the dominant that is also building anticipation and connection,
Mm-hmm.
and that kind of desire to please and give a power exchange. And then there is a payoff. So just like the mountain, if you just felt all the pain of hiking a giant mountain or doing 3 hours of high intense training, and you just all of a sudden felt that pain, that would not give you any excitement or bliss.
Right.
But it's the process that you're going through that then leads to that payoff. So that's why a masochist, an extreme masochist, can love pain in a play scene, but they still hate to stub their toe.
No, I definitely agree with that. I mean, it's just, there's been times I've broken my toe, and it's just, you're cursing and spitting, and it's just kind of like, you're not expecting it, versus with a scene, you're preparing for it, you're talking about it, you're negotiating, whatever. I've even used different pain techniques, pressure processing pain during a scene outside the bedroom, and it's helped me with that.
That's perfect, because I wanted to get into that note on how different people process pain differently going forward. Like, let's just assume this guy's going to now try to find that mythical feeling again, which brings me to another point. Don't chase the dragon. You're never going to have that exact feeling again. We already talked about this in the last show. Try to treat every scene as its own scene. Chase new dragons. But that being said, going into this, processing is very important, because that is going to change over time. If you keep doing this type of play and you want to explore that deeper impact, that deeper play, whatever pain type of thing you're going through, you will learn to process it. This time freaked him out because he didn't expect any of this. You know what I mean? He wasn't like, oh shit, this is new. But once you get used to doing it, you kind of know what's coming.
Right.
And then you kind of also know, hey, there's certain ways that people process pain. Some people stomp one foot, some people twist their hands, some people cuss repetitively real quick, fuck. Some people, everyone has their thing. And then you learn with your dominance for your dominant to not stifle that process, those little processing behaviors, I guess you would call them.
Right.
You have some. What are yours?
Mm-hmm. Well, when I decided to start pursuing BDSM, I purposely looked for videos on pain processing, and they're out there on YouTube if you just look up like pain processing. And it doesn't even have to be pain processing for BDSM, just pain processing people that have to go through childbirth, or people who have to go through tattooing, whatever. I've learned that, when you get hit with something, whether it's a cane, a flog, or whatever, you have that point of impact. I've learned to kind of visualize that point of impact as like a little point of light. And now I'm like kind of visualizing pushing that point of light out and getting it to disperse in my body. So let's say Adonis is hitting me with a cane, and where that cane is hitting me on my butt is that little white light. And now, okay, yeah, he's physically hitting my butt, but if I can visualize pushing that pain out to the bottom of my legs, to the top of my arms, whatever, it lessens the pain. Because if you look at like a beam of light, it like will focus right through. But if you spread the light out, it's not as bright. So even just me visualizing, okay, push the pain out, or even saying to myself, push the pain out under my breath. And then just kind of like, it pushes that pain out. It's not as bad. Same thing also, music, I've screamed about this for years. I don't care what kind of music you listen to. Music for me helps me connect to a scene, and it really helps me process the pain, because there's times like I feel like the pain's getting away from me. It's getting too much. I'll focus on the lyrics. I'll focus on the words. I'll focus on the beat, and I'll kind of drum my hands out with the beat on the cross or on a wall, whatever I'm doing. It kind of helps me to focus on getting through that pain. And then when the pain stops for a minute, because Donis or Doc is changing implements or they're giving me a breather and those chemicals can set back in, it's like, okay, I got through that. You need to find out for you what makes you process that pain a little bit better. And there are some people, processing pain is like, I get a little bit and then I get a lot, and I get a little bit, I get a lot. Some people just love the pain, and it's like, oh my God, this is amazing. You need to kind of sit down and figure out with your play partners, it's like, what is going to help you get through that scene? Because you both want to get to that yummy point of like, the bottom is happy, the top is happy because they did their service, or the top gets their little top space from, inflicting all this.
They're sadists. If they're a sadist.
Learning to process pain. But learning to process pain is really important. I mean, but like I said, even for me outside of the bedroom, I've used it when I've gotten tattoos, learning how to like, okay, that tattoo needle's digging into my arm. I'm going to push that pain out. There's been times I've had to go through painful doctor's procedures in an office. Okay, I'm going to focus on my breathing, push the pain out. And it's helped. It really has helped.
I think this is an amazing topic. And the thing that I would want to end on is, it's okay if you're not a masochist. It's okay.
Yes.
It's okay if you don't want to have pain in your play. There's nothing wrong with you. There are tons of people that don't want to have anything to do with pain. They've tried it. Maybe they've tried it multiple times, and they're like, I don't care how high it gets me. I don't want pain. I don't want to injure my body. I don't want bruises. Whatever their reason, you don't have to be a masochist. There may be different roads to get you to that headspace. It may take a little longer. The pain brings those chemicals quicker, but there are other things. There are different types of headspaces and meditations and connecting things that you do with your dominant or top that can get you into those headspaces with sensuality, with lighter things, with pleasurable things, with role plays, with mind games.
Yes.
So you don't have to be a masochist to enjoy the benefits of your mind releasing those chemicals. Buddhist monks, sit on top of the mountain and, they sit cross-legged and they go off into other planets.
And they flog themselves.
So whether, it doesn't mean you have to go through pain. What you are doing is all in the mind. The mind is being triggered to release something. If you're just talking about the physical, that can be achieved other ways. They may take longer. You may have to train more. You may have to learn more, but it is possible. We're not advocating people push themselves into things that are not good for them. So if it's an adventure to you and you like it, then by all means, go for it. We've given you some ideas, hopefully, to process better and deal with it. But ultimately, that can be pretty intense.
Uncle Creepy lurks around your bedroom. Once you're in his clutch, he penetrates the places where your mama said that good girls shouldn't touch.
Work.
Dude.
Yeah, we got the dudes, the boots, and the scoots, baby.
Work. Things work. Things. That's what we do. That's how we link up via the internet, kids. That's right. That's what we do. I'm going to leave it in so they can know how
the sounds of connection.
The sounds. Dude. Haha. Like we can't say test like a normal fucking retard. We just have to make noises like utterances of cavemen. Link. Oh.
Dude, speaking of karate noises,
yes,
I went to a convention this weekend, which is now called Animazement, and it's like Asian culture, Japanime stuff, regular anime, all that sort of like culture and stuff that I'm not really into anime, but Mina is.
You're not into anime?
I enjoy
Why did
some
I think
stuff.
You were into anime?
I don't know. I
Mina
enjoy
is,
some
though,
stuff.
Right?
Mina's definitely into anime.
Does she like the
loves
hentai fan servicey anime, or does she just like straight anime too?
No, she likes the Demon Hunters, the Naruto, the last Avatar, the Airbender shit. And I want to get laid, so I absolutely do the things.
Play along, yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Well, yeah, once you get into the fan service, like some of them have real good, and fan service is basically when the girl comes out for no reason. No reason. That's why animes are the best. For no reason. Why is this girl in a skirt bending over in this like serious moment, just bending over and showing us her panties?
Yeah.
Casually. And you're like, that's called fan service. And we're doing that because we want to keep brain dead men engaged in this story.
The panties are there.
So fan service is an art form, and then some have more fan service than others. And yes, that's why I figured you would love anime.
So the one thing that gets me to these conventions is a little niche fashion called Lolita, and not the Lolita like the book
like
and
minors. Yeah.
It's
more baby girly kind of
thing.
But
very much.
But they're adult women. They're adult
women who act coquettish and demure. Very demure, very mindful. So Mina's really gotten into me dressing her. I've started to really get a lot of different costumes for her and stuff, and really kind of just try and get her feeling good about her body and stuff, and getting her out there and objectifying the shit out of her. But one of the things, so we went shopping. A lot of the costumes there were a little overpriced for what they were. They were like, I don't want to be snotty or anything, but they were reproductions and not the real thing. So I'm not going to waste my money on that swine. But she did dress up in this sexy, so we're going to go as Sith from Star Wars in July. So she got most of her costume ready, and she put on these tight pants that I could see everything. I definitely made sure that I took photographs of her little, what do you call them? Her little camel toe that she had on her pants.
Her toe going toe.
And then when the show was over, we watched some cool samurai sword fighting demos, which was really cool because we're going to incorporate that into like Star Wars fighting. And then I took her home, took all those clothes off, and got my hands and penis on everything, and it was delicious.
If that's what anime leads to, if that's what an anime festival leads to, then I think that's what it's like prom. It really is. It's like you're like, okay, we're going to go here and then see all sorts of sexiness, both everyone's looking their best and all the costumes. And of course, there's just tons, if you're, there's stuff for the girls and stuff for the guys if you're het, but there's stuff for everybody. And if at the end of that, you're going to be all frisky and turned on from seeing all the sexy costumes, and you should have something to go home and take that out on.
Yeah, and take it out. I did. There was a lot of really cool outfits and costumes and cosplay and everything, and it was pretty cool.
Yeah. I'm glad you had a good time.
Yeah, certainly did.
I'm going to go on to the real world now.
Okay.
And what we chase for real. When porno is the thing that we watch when we don't catch our prey. That's it. But in this case, it's a real world thing. And it is kind of interesting. Like, I sympathize for this person because I've heard this so many times, and it is a super big spectrum. This person's like, general dating versus looking for a dynamic. Quote, DOMs. Do you like when a potential sub is engaged, or Do you prefer to chase?
Hmm.
So this is a submissive asking the question, should I pursue the dom or should I let them pursue me? And this is a super common question and a super common conundrum. And that's why we picked it. We haven't hit on this in a very long time.
Yeah.
I'm female and single after 16 years, and I don't know what I'm doing when it comes to dating, which is true. You have to, like, all your little tricks. If you're not active and in it, you forget the game.
Well, the game's changed.
Things have changed. The culture's changed. Everything's changed. The general dating advice for ladies seems to be, don't get too engaged. Don't always message first. Don't reply too quickly. It's always been that. It's that way for both guys and girls. That goes both sides. Don't be desperate and don't overpush. Don't change your plans for him, etc. Apparently, it's something biological that men need to chase. This goes completely against my nature. If I like someone, I'm very engaged. I enjoy daily contact and can be quite chatty, and I'm a master oversharer. These are not all good qualities in hunting dating. So I try not to lead too much as I identify as a sub, but I'm very engaged and responsive. I don't like playing games. Me neither. And one of the reasons I chose to explore BDSM is because people who are really into it seem to be more emotionally intelligent and honestly and open. Sorry for laughing. And honesty and open communication is of the highest importance. That I agree with. So it feels counterintuitive for me to be more reserved on purpose. I have a question for Doms. If you were getting to know a new sub, would you be turned off by her being very engaged and in conversations and initiating contact? Or would you feel like she's stepping on your toes? Do you feel the need to chase a sub, or on the contrary? It's a very honest question from somebody who just wants to tell it like it is, throw it out there, be the aggressor. Yes, no, yes, no, no, yes.
Sometimes.
And then sometimes, yes, no.
Yes. And we've solved
Thank you. It's a great topic.
Yep.
Great topic. I'm glad we talked about it.
Subscribe and like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
Check out Boogie's Porno. No, so I like this. And we talked about it a little bit before. And reading it again kind of took away my first original thought. And, it was like, it seems that even when it comes to like something like common sense, you think that it should be this way. And you had mentioned how having it be some way in my eyes is not the way that somebody else sees it. So looking at this, I kind of see that and I kind of have this experience because I believe Dawn was single for almost 14 years and then just dropped into the BDSM scene and just started dating. So, she's got a lot of similarities to this and stuff that she's told me where I can tell because I haven't been single in quite a long time, where she's feeling out how I want her to interact with me. And my response has always been, how do you feel? What do you want to do? Do you like when I send you messages? What do you want me to do in approach to trying to court you? Because it's basically what I'm doing is we are dating. Even though we have, a dynamic, we are starting to date. It goes for plushy as well, but they know poly life a little bit better even than me, and have kind of navigated for us some of the weirder aspects. And I think Dawn had said, I'm not too sure because, her previous relationship was pretty terrible and kind of not healthy. We'll just leave it at that. And when she starts coming at me, like at first I was like, well, why don't you just do what you want to do? Like you just text me when you want and then don't text me when you don't. and I'll text you when I want, and I'll text you when, or not text you when you don't. And
so that was before you developed some sort of like dom sub dynamic kind of thing. It was just like straight dating.
Correct. Yeah, because I don't want to set up a dynamic right away. Too many times it's blown up in my face, and like even though everything feels good at the beginning, you know, I've started to factor in NRE. I've started to factor in straight up crazy people. I've started to factor in people who, like you said, have an agenda and might want to push that agenda on me, and I'm just like, whoa, I don't want this. I'm really far in my feelings, but this went way too far. And I think getting stuck with that has kind of helped me like looked at things objectively. And I think that this person can also apply that with, you know, I do like that you laughed at the same spot as me about emotionally intelligent and honest and open communicating people in BDSM.
Yeah, it doesn't always work out that way. It does.
No, it does not. It seems like that in the beginning, but we're all humans and we all suck sometimes. Yeah. And well, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Finish your thought, and then I'll tell you again.
Well, I'm saying, like, I think if this will come back down to applying that open communication and honesty by saying, hey, I know what I want in my relationship. Can you offer something like that? Yes.
Right.
Let us continue our journey. No. Do you want to talk about it? Do you want to bend? Do I want to bend a little bit? How do we feel about that? No. All right. Thank you for your time. I appreciate you. Let me continue on with my journey, and you as well. Have fun. Great. See you. Right.
But well, I'm definitely. I mean, that is surely. I mean, I'm glad that this is how creepy works, and that in that case, there's less need for a game, and you guys can just communicate openly, and then eventually you find some common ground, and if a dynamic occurs, then you start building it from there, and that is absolutely a way that I think a lot of people approach a dynamic or a dom sub relationship. But going back a little bit towards where it's more specific, where it's you're a sub, you identify as a sub, and you're looking for a dom. Say you're in the dungeon, you're going to Munches, you're doing public events, and you're now seeing people that you're like, oh, I like that one, I like that one, I like that one. But sometimes you do have to understand it is a game. And that's just the way it is. That's just biology. Mating is a game, and it's a push and it's a pull, and you don't always know what to do correctly. And there's sometimes where you have to use your best instincts, but there is a game. And when you are dealing with dominance versus submissive, the general consensus is that the dominant is the one taking the power and the submissive is the one giving up the power. But how do you get to that point to where you let someone know who maybe doesn't see you or maybe doesn't know you, hey, I'm available, but not in your face available, because the hunt, there are a lot of submissives that are like, I want to be hunted. I am the prey. I want somebody to reach out to me. I want someone to pursue me. And the dominant is like, I want to hunt. This is part of the primal aspect of these dynamics, is the hunt and the chase. So we can't ignore that a lot of people really do like that. But how do you get to the point? I think what she's saying is, how do you get to the point to where you can tell a little bit without like turning into a wet fucking blanket that puts out the fire of the dominant? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. And so I think, so again, it's hard to say this because I know this is how I do it. So speaking from the way that I do it, I see who is available. I probe with questions. Hey, what are you doing? I look at their Fet life. Oh, they have a partner. What interactions do they have with that partner? You know, I look around and I see, are they someone who can be pursued? Are they somebody that I'm attracted to? Are they somebody that I can see as somebody emotionally intelligent, or at least has a grasp on where they want to proceed in this lifestyle? And I go from there. I think I think submissives
But
can do that.
what if they don't? You don't know them. You haven't seen them. You haven't met them.
Yeah,
you
that's
maybe
the
see them
hard
at the
part.
party, and you kind of huh?
Well, that's the hard part because I
That's
am very much withdrawn in my pursuit. I do it from afar,
right.
and then I slide in with the little, hey, what's up? You like candy? You like clowns? You like any of the things I'm saying? Do you want me to finger you? Is there anything that
Right.
interests you? Or I put out grandiose scenes that I do. I do big over the top scenes.
You fish.
I fish. Yeah. And,
You fish
I
for
had,
scenes.
yeah. And I wanted girls that do that, but they're making me go out and do all the work, but that's besides the
For
point.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Poor me. And so I do fish with scenes. I do know that and I know this because I know the game long enough to where if I just show up as a dude and I'm just like, hey, what's up? I want to finger you and all this stuff. I'd be kicked out faster than the fucking, a
Sure.
wasp. Yeah. So,
But let's get back. I mean, we're staying all on your perspective, but let's get back to, we're trying to help this person what to say to dominants, how to approach a dominant when they haven't met the dominant or the dominant has not seen them. So she wants to say you're in a situation like I'm going to say, I'll just take for me here. I like to hunt. If a submissive comes up to me and starts throwing themselves at me, I'm not interested at all in that person, because that's somebody that comes off to me as like, well, you're doming this process. I like to hunt. Now then, I have no problem, because if you want to let me know that you want to be chased, then there's ways to flirt that in there without being like, hey, hi, I'm submissive. I need a dominant. Will you be my daddy? Can I call you now? Here's my phone number. Will you fuck? I can suck your dick. Can I do that now? I don't want any of that. That to me is just like, whoa, you are way, you don't need a dominant. You are the dominant. You are coming in and trying to dictate how this is going to work. But there is a lot simpler ways of letting know. You can go up to someone and say something as simple as saying, hi, my name's this, and I saw you, and I wanted to push myself to meet you, and shake their hand, and then kind of let that go. And if they don't say anything, just kind of walk away. You've now let them know that you're saying hi. And if somebody's immediately interested, the dominant will chase at that point. Oh, whoa, come back here. So tell me something about yourself. Are you new here? Blah, blah, blah. Now you allow the dominant to do the chase part, and you don't have to come in and like throw yourself all over them. It's the same thing online. It's the same thing. You can say like, hey, I read your profile. You seem pretty cool. I'm just going to throw that ball in your court now, which I've had done. Absolutely. Yeah. Somebody did it today. They're literally like, hey, I'm going to check your profile out because you look like someone cool to get to know.
Nice.
And they left it at that. And I'm like, okay, well, this person didn't say I want to fuck you, didn't say anything, just said real cool. Just kind of like, hey, I see you. I like the joke you made on my comment. Do
you think, well,
and now there's a cat and mouse that gets to go play. And if people are into that, that's the way to kind of go about it. If somebody comes right at you and then says exactly the things that you said, hey, call me whenever you want, and let's build this other type of relationship, then that's a person you don't have to play cat and mouse with. But a lot of people in this lifestyle want a cat and mouse because that's the predator prey thing.
But the hardest part for me, especially, is that I need that initial, like, hey, I am enthusiastically consenting to the chase. Like, I think it's difficult for me because I know the game and I want that first step removed from the situation.
Yeah,
like,
that tough shit. That's not always going to happen that way.
I know.
You're gonna miss a lot of opportunities to date people.
Well, maybe because I pursue a lot of attention. I don't get it as much as I probably think I do. So right. I think it's tough for me to see the difference between, hey, what's up? I know that you do stuff with people. You're cool. And I'd like that to happen too. And I'm just like, oh, cool. Yeah, I loved it. It was fun. And then I'm off into my next little thing because I don't know that's what they want. Yeah, I think that's
on you. First off,
this is the hardest part.
Because here's what I say: if you say hi, and even if you don't say anything about play, or you don't say anything to the dominant about anything other than hi, I'm here. If they're interested, they know, they heard you.
Yeah.
We don't have 10,000. Most of us don't have 10,000 women lined up like the chicks do. We don't get 20,000 DMs a day from people throwing themselves at us.
No.
We maybe get 1 or 2 emails a year.
Wow.
So if somebody reaches out to us, it's like, hey, hi, how you doing? Let's have more conversation. Find out blah, blah, blah. You don't need to send 10 emails. Because that starts seeming desperate. You can literally, if you say, hi, I like your profile. What do you think? I heard you. I fucking heard you. If I don't respond, that's because I'm not interested.
Yeah. Do you think that applies in the reverse?
Yeah. If you put out a thing, all the time. If I send out a thing to someone, I send out little things. I never send out pervy stuff. I only make jokes. That's the Count Boogie way. Yeah. I will only, like, if you're hot and your profile looks good, but you don't have a picture that I can make a joke on, I'm probably not even going to try.
Oh, wow.
Because I don't like to start with sex stuff. I like to find something that I can say, this is human. Let's find something cute that I can say, because that's the person I am. I don't want to be with somebody that's overly serious. Anyway, that's not my type. So for me, that's my go-to. I'm going to crack a little joke. You respond to the joke. Like I had a joke today and we went back and forth and it was very funny. Never a word about sex. Never a word about like, hey, does this mean we're going to fuck? You know, that's the cat and mouse. That's the fun part, that we can then get to each other. And then eventually, after a few interactions, I'm going to let them know, hey, what about this? Do you want to talk? Do you want to chat? You want to chat on the phone? Now we're in the hunt. We're playing the game. The excitement's able to take place. So they can initiate, but at some point, back the fuck off and let me be the dom. That's part of the game for me. It's not for everybody. It's not for you. It's not for a lot of people. They're like, I need everything to be very clear. But some of us really like that play, so you can drop that hint and not be stuck on it. I get it.
Do you think?
I don't assume either of these women that I've chatted back and forth with, I don't assume that they want to fuck me, but I pay attention, and both of them, I'm like, I would play with either of you. Let's see where this goes. So I'll send something, and if they don't send something back, that's it. I don't give any response. I don't send it again because it's there. I saw in FetLife that it went in. I saw in my little thing, here's our conversation. It ended with me saying something. If they don't respond, then they don't want to respond.
Not interested or just didn't. Yeah. Well, let me ask you this, though. With you've been out of the dating scene for quite a while. Do you think that would still apply today? I feel with like the way apps and, FetLife has changed significantly since you've been dating. Do you think that this is the way that people see it now, is that, hey, do you want to fuck? Yes, I want to fuck. And then boom, done.
Yeah. I don't think apps, you can update apps as often as you want. People have been dating and fucking for thousands of years. None of that has changed. It's just the means that you talk to the human.
Yeah.
So
but that's another layer of
it's something to
distance.
learn. It's surely something to learn, but ultimately I don't want to be with people that are so shallow they can't have a conversation. So if socially they've been homogenized culturally with their communication, I'm not going to be interested in that person anyway. So I'm just going to put out, and I've found over the years, even though I've been out of the game for a few years now, I'm still talking to people. So I haven't had any connections or people that I wanted to be with, blah, 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 blah. There's been things, but it's a game. It really is a game. It's natural. There is a game in mating. You want to hear an example of a game? I'll tell you what a game is. Right this second, I can hear it. You can't hear it. There is a fucking sparrow in the fucking cell phone tower that's literally 100 feet away from my door. And starting about a week ago, I can hear it right fucking now. From the time I get in here till the time I leave, that fucking bird is calling for a fucking mate. Chirp, 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 chirp. Fuck me, fuck me, fuck me, fuck me, fuck me, fuck me. It's a game. I swear to God, if you're an animal rights activist, don't listen for the next 20 seconds, because if I had a fucking bazooka, I would decimate that fucking creature into vapor. But it's part of nature. There's a game. The guy does this, the female does this traditionally, but then it's not absolute. So you have to learn some variances. Ultimately, if this woman wants to be exactly as she is and put it in the face and say, because there's other countries that have much more aggressive, I don't want to say female pursuing male, because that's all very different based on culture. But if you're talking about submissives seeking dominance, I think the dynamic, because you can go to Iceland, the women rock right up to you and they'll be like, I want to date you. You want to go on a date? And you're like, oh, okay. So it's not the same as it is culturally kind of here. But as far as dominant versus submissive and prey versus predator, I think it's still the same shit.
You think so?
You got to play a game. You got to be a little vague. You got to play a little cat. You got to play a little,
mysterious.
Walk away a little, bat your eyes a little bit. Push, pull, push, pull, push, pull. Make fucky.
Yeah, but I mean, a lot of my life is online. A lot of the things that I've done and my experiences I've said on the show, I've had on FetLife, and I feel like the mysteriousness of me is kind of gone. When I've started dating Dawn and stuff, like all of that has come out. And I feel like didn't I already explain this to you? And then I'm like, oh shit, I've repeated myself so many times, and right. I don't know. I feel like it seems difficult and very personal. It changes person to person in this example that we could give a very vague answer, and that is do what you like. But I feel like it's very specific.
We'll just start slow, like with anything else.
I agree.
Why not just start slow? You don't have to throw out your whole fucking wad right there. Then you'll find out. But you can start by just dropping that hint, planting that seed, seeing if they water it. Because why embarrass yourself? That's the reason I don't come on hot and heavy on things. Because it's just there's this, most of us are very welcoming of clues. I like clues because they give us permission to put on that, super uber serious dom face that makes us look really stupid when we throw it on somebody that's not interested in us. So I don't mind clues, and I don't think most people like clues, but just keep it fun. The clue is enough. And if you find somebody like you that's like, I don't care, tell me everything. I want to hear everything right now. They'll tell you.
Yeah.
And if not,
then don't.
Then
keep it mysterious. Yeah.
Then you'll freak people out, and they'll be like, Jesus fucking Klingon.
What's wrong with this guy?
What the fuck?
So I went after the convention yesterday. We went to one of Mina's coworkers like a birthday party at a food hall, and there was a lot of younger single men and women. I was only talking to the women, but they started telling me a lot about their life very quickly. And I'm like, that's interesting, because I found out this person was from New Jersey. This person was a comedian. This person had just done a show. They talked about improv. And I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, I know a lot about you. I know your fucking birthday already. Like, it happened to be September 10th, but and I'm not even trying to date this person. So I'm just,
well, they were probably interested in you, dumbass.
Fuck. But also like, fuck. She was super cute. God damn it. I'm gonna have to get, when we're done here, I gotta fucking run to Mina and get her phone. But also, like, I think other people were doing that. They were talking about a lot of things really fast. And I think maybe our society has changed to where, we only engage for 10-second soundbite clips, and then we've already
speed dating. Yeah,
and then our brain has moved on.
I think things have changed a little bit, but I still think the game and the desire is the same.
That animalistic.
You put it
core.
out there, and you don't push, because I saw some guy crowding some girl in the gym, and she was literally like an ex-boyfriend, and she's literally like, "Get away from me!" Like, people don't like to be crowded. You're not wanted here. I don't want to talk to you. I've told you. Like, I had to lean in and be like, "Okay, kids, let's break this up."
Wow.
Don't crowd.
It just sounds like, yeah.
Don't crowd. Most people don't like crowding. If we say nothing else in this half hour that we've been babbling like idiots, if you want to date someone, the majority of us do not want to be crowded. Drop your hint. Step away. If they respond, they respond. If they don't respond, 99% they didn't want you.
Wow.
Move on to the next. That's how I look at it. I send stuff out all the time, throw out my things, even if some back and forth. The second they don't respond, they don't want to respond. That's what I say in my mind. Move on, because I'm not going to crowd people, because I know for a fact that women that I know over the years and all of their friends, that's one of the number one things that they hate. Don't fucking smother me until we're in love. Once you're in love, you want to be together all the time. But when we're not together, and especially if I'm like on the fence about you and you're like, me, oh, be here, me, dude, fucking fuck, dude.
Yeah, you got to get the fuck out of that. Yeah.
Get the fuck out. Don't crowd. Good topic.
Yeah, I liked it. Good luck.
Woo! For Valhalla.
Train wreck as usual. And that is the end of show 451. Thank you for joining us in Valhalla, and may the gods be with you. If you have any questions, comments, or topics you'd like to talk about, please reach out to us at pervertedpodcast@gmail.com, or find us on TikTok under the name Perverted Podcast, on Instagram or TikTok, and on FetLife there is both a group and a page, and I'm just going to keep screwing it up. Please help support the show by liking this episode. Please like the show and subscribe to the show, and don't forget to share it with your kinky friends so other kinksters like you can find us. And if you'd like to support the show a little bit more, please go to our Patreon at patreon.com/pervertedpodcast and sign up for our $5 if you give a level. And when you sign up for that, you become a PP Sugar Zombie. And with becoming a PP Sugar Zombie, you get our shows a few days early. And of course, you get our Patreon exclusive Half a PP episode where all three of us, including Uncle Creepy, are in the same room and we discuss other topics we don't talk about on here. And of course, love and smushy kisses to our patrons around the world. Your support means the world to us.
Thank you, Path Girl. Thank you, Uncle Creepy. And we will see you guys on the next big show.